Hi, and thank you for joining me today. We have a great demo planned for you today where we'll talk about Splunk Enterprise free trial and Boss of SOC version 3, which is a threat hunting and observability tool to help you fine tune your threat hunting skills and ability to use the SPL, the Splunk processing language. First, we'll talk a little bit about myself. Then we'll talk about the Boss of SOC version 3 application so you become more familiar with that. Then we'll talk about the topology that I'm using so you'll understand how simple it is to get started. And then we'll go right into a live demo. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. My name is Jerald Perry. I've been in technical marketing for multiple years and I've been in information technology for over 20 years. My passion is bridging the gap between technology and its intended users and packaging that technology in an easily consumable form that helps drive growth. It is my belief that the more we collaborate, the more we educate, the better we all become. And as we work together, we will all succeed. So let's talk about Boss of SOC version 3. Bots 3 is a great tool that provides training and real world challenges for helping people to keep their skills fine tuned. Or if you're trying to get into the space and you're trying to learn more about observability and threat hunting, then this is the perfect opportunity for you to really jump right in. Whether you're a newcomer or you're seasoned, it doesn't matter. And that's what I love about it. You'll also need the Splunk Security Essentials app because what it does is it automatically creates some really cool queries for you based on the MITRE ATT&CK framework that allows you to actually apply that to your environment. And then you can take those really cool queries and create some really cool dashboards and alerts for triage purposes. So now let's talk about my topology. The great thing about this is that it is a very simple topology. I'm using a Windows 11 laptop and I've installed the Splunk Enterprise free trial on that laptop. I've also set up all of the prerequisite applications within Splunk that are required to run the Boss of SOC. And then I have installed the data set. The GitHub repository will provide all of the instructions for you to do that. And at the end of this demo, I'll provide that detail. So now let's get into the demo. All right, so we're now at the Splunk Enterprise URL. So let's go ahead and log in here. So now it takes you to the home screen. What I'm going to do as soon as we log in is I am going to, as you can see, I have this pinned here so I don't have to search all the way down. But these are a lot of the prerequisites that are required to run this demonstration. I've pinned the Splunk machine, I've pinned the Splunk Security Essentials up to the top. So I'm going to go ahead and go into this application. So when you get here, when you get to the home screen of the SSE, the Splunk Security Essentials, you'll see some different tabs here where you can find different types of content. This is what we're going to focus on today. But you can also find some learning modules and different onboarding guides and things like that. So it can provide a framework for you to onboard your data if you're going into an actual POC in preparation of going into a production environment. It'll also help you deploy some and operationalize the MITRE ATT&CK framework, monitor your data ingest, things of that nature, and then just measure new data sources via MITRE ATT&CK and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and go back to find content, and we're going to select that. And as you can see here, you're provided with different options here to do different things, security basics. For the sake of this demo, we're just going to focus on advanced threat detection. So I'm going to click that, and as you can see here, we go below. You have different use cases that you can select, which is really cool. I'm going to go ahead and just select the advanced threat detection, and we can get right into that. All right, so now we are in the security content home screen. And here you have multiple options that you can choose from. So within the journey, you can pick whether you're more focused on data collection, data normalization, expansion and enrichment, so on and so forth. And then here you can get more granular with the security use cases if you choose to. Here you'll see compliance. I've selected advanced threat detection for this demo, but you see multiple different security use cases that you can focus on. So it's a very granular tool and helps you to understand more about how these different use cases break down and compartmentalize. So for the sake of this demo, I am going to scroll all the way down to the bottom and I'm going to select processes with lookalike file names. This is a technique that's used to evade analysis. And as you can see, it gives you a description here of how attackers can use processes with lookalike names. So hopefully you will overlook that when you're doing your maintenance on systems. So let's go ahead and select that. So now we are on the actual security use case homepage. And as you can see here, it provides a very detailed explanation of what this is. Use case is advanced threat detection, category is endpoint compromise. Alert volume should be very low. SPL difficulty, very hard. So you are learning some very complex queries here. So whether you're new or seasoned, this is a great tool to use and rely on. So here it gives you the framework for the MITRE attack tactics. It gives you the framework for the techniques. It gives you the threat groups and where at in the kill chain that this is a threat for. So let's go down to the bottom here and let's take a look at the code. Let's look at this SPL here. This is very in depth here. This is a very large Splunk query code that is provided for you from the Splunk Security Essentials. I have no events at this moment because last 24 hours and we've imported data. So remember, when you're importing data, you can unzip it and go in and change the dates on that so it's more recent if you like. For me, I just choose to go all time and then search on that. It makes it very simple. I don't have to worry about going back too far and doing all kinds of things. And then here, it'll bring up a list of items. And here you'll see the items that are not what they're supposed to be. SI host, IEX Explorer. So you'll see that it will provide the actual locations and it will provide the actual hosts that are displaying this issue. Here it gives you what the file should be right here. So you'll get a clear visualization of what the file should be and what's actually running. And if this is something that's happening real time in your environment, you can just select detect new values and it will continue to do that and it'll give you a dashboard right here. But here's another cool thing that you can do is you can select open and search right here and go directly to the actual query dashboard, which is something I like to do. And you'll bring that up here. I'm already selected for all time. So as you can see, we're parsing. And now what we have is I can go here to the actual logs and I can look into the log data if I choose to. I can go in and add different interesting fields if it's not already being parsed already during your ingest process. But yeah, you can go back here, you can create these visualizations. You can take this as a base SPL to build for other things as well, but there's so many different use cases, you'll probably find what you need. So then the cool thing with this is you can go ahead and select save as existing dashboard. And then what you'll have is you can go over to your dashboards here. As you see, I have some created within my local instance. You'll go into your dashboards here, and then you'll now have this information right here. You see, here's the files that are running. It'll show a list of all the files that are running, but then when we go here, the suspected files, the volume's really low, and that's what you want in your security operations center. So now that we've walked through the demo, let's talk about how you can get started here. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to the GitHub repository, the Splunk GitHub repository, and all you've got to do is search bots v3. That's it. So thank you for joining me for this demo. I really appreciate your time. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn. I typically will respond if you have questions, if you're trying to get your lab going and you're running into issues. Happy threat hunting.